Good afternoon, ladies and gents. Adam Flynn here, one of the directors at Biggin and Scott Real Estate here in the city of Knox. Here today, actually in my old office. Who uses this office now?
I do.
Oh, look here. Righto. So we've got Train and Magic here, who were the number one. Okay, so there's two parts of this. This is like a 2-month video for Salesperson of the Month. So Train was the number one. Adrian, Train, was the number one salesperson here in this Biggin and Scott Knox for the month of March, but also number 3 in the entire Victorian marketplace. And Magic was number 1 here at Biggin and Scott Knox for the month of April, but also number 1 in the whole Victorian marketplace for April. So we're doing like a 2-month video here. Congratulations, gents. Really well done.
Thank you.
So with the pandemic and COVID and everything that's happening out there in the market at the moment, you guys are still getting fantastic results out there in the marketplace. So let's just talk firstly about some of those results. Train, so you were, as I mentioned, number 1 in the group, number 3 in Victoria for the month of March. Do you remember some of the good results, standout results through all this chaos that took place in that month?
Yeah, there's a couple of good standouts. We had, it was 32 Veronica Street in Furniture Gully.
Yep.
And that was basically at the verge of the pandemic starting. So
yep.
I remember we had all the new legislation that came in with the hand cleaners and everything. So basically the last open for inspection for that was the last open for inspection before we started doing private inspections.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
After, so that worked quite well for the vendors. And that sold within about 9-10 days. So we basically got to do 2 opens. We said to the vendors, we've got a couple of offers we need to entertain now because what's going to come next is uncertain. And
smart.
Lo and behold, after that, the prices did take a bit of a hit for those weeks after.
Yeah.
And that sold for $745,000, which was a huge number for an original home in Furniture Gully, unsubdividable, 700 square metre block. So
yeah, okay.
The other one that stood out was the 1 Simpson Road, which actually settles today. So that was Magic actually caught that auction, which was a great.
I used to live on Simpson Road.
Yeah,
remember that house? Remember that house?
I do remember that house. Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah, a fair while ago.
Yeah. So that sold under the hammer, and that was the last auction. It basically wasn't it? The last auction.
Last legal auction.
Second last
auction before the pandemic struck again.
Second last weekend.
Yeah, right.
So their timing was perfect.
Yeah.
That sold for a top dollar of $875,000 for again original home on 900 square metres.
Yeah, gotcha.
In a good pocket of Furniture Gully, but again, timing was everything there, and great result. Well done, Magic, calling that auction.
And it's it's obviously your vendors had the trust in your words by listening to you, like with Veronica Street, and you saying, look, we should probably get a bit of a move on here because uncertain sort of waters we're heading into. That result is 745. I know it's hard to say, but given the current state of play, so you certainly think if they had not listened to your advice, that price would have been affected.
Yeah, take some off. Take 50, 60, 70 even.
Yeah,
off
gotcha.
The price of that.
Yeah.
And even that price then was the top result in that mark. So 2 weeks before that, those results weren't coming. So that was higher than what the market was dictating.
Yeah.
But under the competition, got a really good result. So
Yeah.
The vendors, after we got that unconditional, they were wrapped.
So it's important. So anybody can sell anything, but it's at what price? The agents, their job is to get the highest possible price. So that's a really good example of when vendors listen to the expert that they've engaged to give them the advice and the guidance through that that selling process. Magic, April. So what were some of the standouts for the month of April?
Probably the key standout would be 15 Bennett Street. So
one,
like going on the back of what Train just said, competition. So believe it or not, in 3.5 weeks, I did 84 private inspections at 15 Bennett Street. Yeah. And that resulted in a price $60,000 higher than the higher end of the price guide. So
hang on.
Yeah.
So when you say, were you doing like clumps of privates in... because you didn't go back and forth 84 times.
No, so I did like people in 10
like 5
slots.
here and 7 there, and gotcha.
660,000 for an original 3-bed on just over 1,000 square metres.
Yeah, and that couldn't be subdivided?
No.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
That
And what were the vendors' expectations there?
They just wanted the best price possible.
Yeah, okay,
It went 60 grand above the higher end of the price guide. So
Yeah,
they're pretty happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was multiple offers on it?
There were 9.
Fair income.
Yeah. 9.
And when did it sell? When was the contract sale date?
3 weeks ago.
So right amongst the chaos.
Oh, yeah, in the middle of it.
Yeah.
So that was probably the standout.
Yeah, righto.
Yeah.
Okay, so at the moment there are agents out there, really getting kicked in the face and really struggling. It's clear that the both of you are bucking the trend on what is considered normal in regards to results from a salesperson in the real estate industry, given the current state of play. So what are some of the things that you're doing, if you just know offhand, that you feel are aiding to your continuing success in this chaotic sort of period of time?
Look, controlling like vendor expectation as well. So
Yep.
that's there. You have to do that because the market's definitely had a bit of a change.
Yep.
So you don't want to blow smoke and say you're going to get X amount and then come back a week later and say, sorry, it's not there.
Yeah, sure.
So straight away you control that expectation and you're dealing one-on-one with buyers.
Yeah, okay.
So one-on-one work with buyers. Myself, I'm very good one-on-one.
Yeah.
I'm direct. I can tell people how it is and they listen.
Yeah.
So that works well for me.
Yep.
Probably the same for Magic. He's pretty good one-on-one with people.
Yeah.
So unless you shy away from a hard conversation, you'll get the job done.
Yeah, you got to hit the vendors between the eyes with the truth.
Yep.
And sometimes it's not what they want to hear.
Yep.
So it's just having the courage to be able to do that.
Sure.
That I think is a key reason why.
So transparency,
Also hard work. Also
hard work,
Yeah.
communication, hard work. So when you say hard work, I would assume that the deals are harder to get at the moment because you need to still a level of confidence in not just the buyers to making an offer, but the vendors to possibly accepting an offer that they might not have been what they were hoping for going back 12 months ago.
It's creating belief. They got to believe.
Yeah.
So being direct with people helps belief. They're like, he's not playing games with it. He's being truthful.
And if you're a bullshit artist, people can generally see through that
Straight
anyway.
through it,
Yeah.
Straight through it.
So the buyers that you're dealing with, they're listening to your advice. The vendors are listening to your advice. And at the end of the day, you're just there to get the deal together and get a good, fair result for everybody involved, given a shit situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And one positive out of this whole coronavirus thing is the buyers that we're dealing with are genuine because no one's going to waste no tire kickers are going to come out and inspect properties now.
Yeah.
So the
84 genuine buyers.
they were
Unreal, isn't it?
resulted in 9 offers.
It tells you how many people are out there.
It is true, though. It's a good, it's a good, when the end of the world happens, it's a good qualifier because people are still going to buy a house or making a phone call to inquire.
Yeah.
You would generally assume that they're ready to
Rock and roll.
Yeah, it's game on.
Yeah. And how are stock levels? What's the confidence? Do you think there's confidence coming? I reckon the dust is starting to clear.
It's building.
Yeah.
It's definitely building.
Yeah, so I had 2 opens last night.
Yeah.
The first night we're allowed to do opens. One of them had, keep in mind their open times were only advertised for 24 hours and had 9 groups at one and 10 groups at the other one.
Yeah, okay.
That's the midweek.
So next 6 months, nobody's got a crystal ball, so, but what do you think is going to happen with the real estate market? Like, do you think there's going to be, it'll stay steady? Do you think that it'll come back more? Or do you think, over the next few weeks, it'll just pop off again?
To be perfectly honest, I've got absolutely no idea.
Yeah. Do you know how often we get asked that at the moment?
Yeah.
Every day we're being asked.
Yeah. I think, so what I think is properties up to $600,000.
Yeah.
They're haven't really been affected all that much because
right.
there's so many first home buyers out there.
Yeah.
But the properties between, say, 7 and $1 million and more, they're the ones that have taken hit. They're going a lot slower. I think that will probably stay the same.
Yeah.
That's what I reckon.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Units, townhouses, they're moving.
Yeah.
They're moving at a decent level. And then, like subdivisions and land allotments, they seem to be pulling back a bit. Developers aren't as active as what they were.
Yeah.
They're holding back a little bit.
Yeah.
And if the developers have got their lots, they're actually going forward with their projects and then selling them as townhouses and units. So
Yeah.
it's going to continue to go. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting.
It will
I'd like
be.
to
So it's a little bit of uncertainty, but it's probably steadier than what people would assume. But for the agents that are doing the right actions and having the right conversations and have the courage to have transparent communication with all parties, that they've obviously still
working.
got opportunities to do really, really well regardless of the climate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot better than what the media is portraying. And
Yeah.
also it's going to be very interesting because I think right now there's a lot of people holding off, waiting to put the property on the market as soon as the market gets better.
Yeah.
Whenever that is, there'll be a huge influx, and that might bring prices down. So who knows? Like, it's really an unknown.
Nobody knows.
Yeah. Well done, lads. So obviously, once again, there's a lot of agents out there that are screaming, really carrying on at the moment. But what these two guys are doing, as I mentioned earlier on in the video, are bucking the trends of what is considered normal, considered normal results in the current climate. So number 3 in Vic, number 1 in Vic, number 1 in both these offices last 2 months. So if you need anything from a real estate point of view, whether buying, selling, leasing, whatever the case is, give these guys a call, and I'm sure they'd be more than happy to help, and you'd be in first class hands. So thanks all for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Thank
Cheers.
you.